one. So I'm going to introduce Sandra now, and the first question, I guess, is, some people might know Sandra from within the church, but the question I want to start with, Sandra, is just tell us a bit more about you and the role you're doing now.
Thank you. My first question is, am I on, actually? Am I on? Brilliant.
Yes.
Yes, so I'm Sandra Thompson, I've said a few times, so I am your new treasurer, taking over from Lindsay.
Yes.
Thank you. I don't often get a round of applause. That's made my morning. Lindsay's done a fantastic job, I have to say, I think for about 30 years. But now you get me. So what does a treasurer do? Well, basically, it's my job to look after the money. So I monitor how much we have. I keep it safe, and I try and help sure we make sure we spend it well. Now, I expect some of you are thinking money, oh no, not my thing. Please don't tune out. I'm not going to bombard you with numbers. There are no charts, so I promise you only 2 numbers and no charts at all in the next few minutes. Let's see if I can keep it.
Okay, so Sandra, can you just give us a kind of perspective on how St Paul's is doing financially?
Well, not good, is a straight answer. So we have, because of the pandemic, lost hall rents, as you might expect. And we think that will carry on into next year. We've also lost some of our regular givers as people have moved away or unfortunately died. And we have also lost some of our one-off giving too. Now, we have made cost savings and we are cost conscious, but it's not nearly enough to cover the amount that we've lost this year.
Okay, so given that, how much would you say we need?
A lot. It's another £70,000 a year. Now, that's a big number. If you're sitting where I am, it's actually a scarily big number. I think you might become scared at this point. There you go. The good thing is, a bit like Ben said, there are quite a few of us, so I reckon that works out about £5 per person per week. So you've heard of 5 a day. Well, now you've heard of 5 a week. This is your 5 a week. Now, I think that just shows that if we all pull together, what looks like a scarily big number actually becomes doable. And I should say, we're not suggesting that everybody should give us another £5 a week. I think, as Ben said, we're well aware some people have been really bad hit by the pandemic or other factors. And some of you may not be able to give us anything at all, or may need to reduce your giving. And you may want to contribute some of the time and talents that Ben talked about. Maybe you could become a small group leader or set up a special interest group. Maybe you could join the team looking at reaching out to the new housing in the parish. Or help me with the finances, that would be great. But there are a number of other ways you can give time and talents. But for those of you who are able to give, it's the number to bear in mind. We're hoping some of you will be able to give us more. Ben talked about when he got his first paid job. Maybe you've not reviewed your giving for a while. And some of you might prefer a one-off amount. You know, maybe you have some one-off savings. Maybe you had to cancel a holiday. Maybe you've inherited money. Maybe you have other capital. So really think about what you can give, whether it's time, talents, or financially. But I think if we all pull together, then we can do this.
And when we think about where the money goes, what would you say to the specifics of where it ends up?
Oh, that's a good question. So 4 main things, I'm going to run through each. The first is our staff team. So, Andre, that's you. But not just you. So these are the people who run our mission and ministries. So that's children's work, youth work, worship, pastoral care, looking after the building, administration support. And these are really pivotal to us achieving our vision and our mission and ministries. So that's our number 1. Our next is our Parish Share. Now, the good thing about being new in any job is you can ask silly questions. So one of my questions was, what is a Parish Share? Well, it's the money we give to the diocese, so that's the geographical area that's on the picture. And it pays for most clergy, so that's most vicars and curates, and their accommodation, and then a whole range of other services, so things like training and also safeguarding. It's broadly calculated on the size of the church and also a measure of deprivation. So basically, bigger churches in less deprived areas give more than smaller churches in deprived areas. So that's our second one. Our third one is actually what we give away. So in line with the principles that Ben said, we do give money away to others, and we give away 15% of our income to a whole range of causes. You've heard about some of them over the summer, so we've had updates from STEP going to local schools, YWAM with their evangelistic missions. Also, I think we had an update from the Leaks in Argentina, Joe in Uganda with Jenga, but many, many more. And then there's the everything else. So there is then a whole host of smaller bits and bobs. The biggest is actually our local support for CAP. That's debt relief in our local area. But then there's all the bits and bobs you have to spend to run a church. So that's heat, light, insurance, software licenses, flowers for the church, tea and coffee, food, etc., etc. So those are our 4.
So how does all this fit in with just the general vision of what we're trying to do here?
Oh, now that's a great question, but it's not one for me. So I'm actually going to throw that question back to you, Andre.
Okay.
And then I think we have a few videos.
So, I mean, really this fits in perfectly with the vision that we have here at St. Paul's, which is to reach out with the love of God to our neighbours, wherever they may be, whether they're local here in Fleetville, St. Albans, or whether to the online community and people beyond. So that's all part and parcel of the missional strategy that we have here, and that includes community well-being, mission and transformation. We're going to show a couple of videos, 4 videos actually, I think now, which will just articulate a little bit more specifically where money can really usefully go to support our vision and our mission. Let's see those now.
Hi church, I'm sitting here in the Youth and Kids office next to an empty desk all on my own because we are still in need of a youth minister. While I'm able to caretake a little bit, actually there is so much potential for what God could do in our young people and children here at St. Paul's that I would not want to be in the way of that. We do definitely need a youth minister to come and take hold of the brilliant team that we've got and encourage them and spur them on so that they can lead our young people into lifelong faith.
I'm here in church where we're looking to invest in some new technology. Online church is here to stay even when we can get back in the building, as it gives a great window into who we are as a church. We're looking to invest in a few more cameras, as well as upgrading some of the current tech that we've had for a while, which will enable the whole system to communicate across the board, both internally for us to use in the building and externally for our live stream.
Another part of our strategy in the vacancy and going forward is engaging with the community. You may be aware of some of the new build estates in our parish, and so one of the things we're asking people to offer is their time in terms of engagement and serving those estates well, welcoming them to the area, putting on events, thinking about things we can post through the door, but also praying for them. So that's something we'd certainly love people to offer their time for. And so if that's something you're interested in, do get in touch with me.
So, what are we looking to do with the concourse? Well, downstairs we'd like to make it a more relaxing space for both church members and the community to spend time together. Whether that's on Sundays or whether that's parents dropping off their children to dance class, being able to simply slow down a little and not feeling that they need to rush out of the building. Upstairs, we are looking at having a co-working setup, providing a space where the Fleetville community can get their work done in the company of others, where there is a change of surroundings compared to working from home, or whether simply to be somewhere where there's life and family. These changes will invite the community into our wonderful building and encourage many to see church as a place that is welcoming, safe and loving.
Key areas that we would like to invest money into, which really serve not just us, but the community that we're looking to reach out into as well. Sandra, we might be thinking, perhaps, have we not put money aside for a rainy day for all of this?
Yes, we did. Lindsay was a very wise and prudent treasurer. So we did set aside money for a rainy day. Unfortunately, we've had that rainy day and we've got a few more to come. So those savings have been dipped into because of the pandemic and the other loss of income I mentioned. So the 70,000, that number, does not include replenishing those savings. We do have some savings left. Some of them are earmarked. For example, we need to do some work on our building, to the roof and stonework. And we do hold savings equivalent to 3 months' worth of salaries for our staff, so we can always pay our staff in an absolute crisis. But when you take those out, if we carry on with our current activities and we do the things that have been talked about, we will actually run out of money about the middle of next year. That's where we are.
Okay, so people might well be asking now, well, practically, how can I give?
Three ways. They are on the homepage of the website. You will need to scroll down. They are standing order or direct debit, so through your bank electronically, or by cheque. We still take cheques, that's no problem. Or you can give online by debit or credit card. I would prefer you didn't do that if you can avoid it, because we do pay card fees on that, and obviously, and the more we spend on fees, the less we have to spend on more valuable activities. Can I say, if you can gift aid your giving, please do. It doesn't cost you any less, and sorry, it doesn't cost you any more, but we get more money, so well worth doing. But please do consider what you can give. If you're in church, at the back we have envelopes and the magic tapper machine and standing order films.
And so that's really helpful. Are there any other final things that you'd want to tell us?
Yeah, there will be an email that comes around tomorrow that will repeat what I've said, answer a few more questions and give a few more numbers for those of you who like numbers. But if you have any questions, do contact me. Do ring me up or send me an email. But I think my final thought goes back to the 5 a week, and really the principle that it is a big number, but if we all pull together and do our bit, then it really is manageable, and that includes time and talents as well as money. And whether it's 50p or £5 or maybe it's £50 a week, or whether it's a few hours of your time, please do pray about what's your contribution and then act. Because I really want this church to grow and thrive and be the mission of God in our local community.
Great. Thanks. Let's give Sandra just appreciation.